Valentines Concert. And for those of you who may not know who I am, my name is Valerie Davis, President and CEO of Great Sounds Promotions. For now. That's a teaser for what's to come. Anyway, at this time, I would like to introduce our production manager, Timm Dalman, who has been with me for 25 years this May. And he has a few words, and then I'm going to come back to you.
Hey, Timm.
I'm no public speaker, but I asked if I could just say a few words for Valentine's Day tonight, because I wanted to tell you a quick love story, if you can just for a moment. And the story is this. I'm Timm from New Anthem, a local nonprofit, and I'm also happy to represent Smooth Jazz Concert Series with Valerie Davis. In 1996, I met a beautiful young lady from the Quad Cities who was doing her first public concert of any type. And in this concert, she was using national recording and television talents, which was pretty impressive. Well, back then, New Anthem, my company, was investing in training and office support for local music promoters in the area. And we'd identified people that we thought could be raised up to add to the Quad Cities palette of entertainment and culture. And we quickly identified Valerie Davis as someone that we wanted to invest in. And people like that we would bring to Nashville for promoter training and conferences that were hosted by the recording industry. And Valerie Davis made incredibly effective use of her opportunity in that training. And a few of those people have had some success in the Quad Cities area with their concert programs, but no one that we've worked with over our almost 30 years of existence has had the impact that this fine young woman has had. And none of them had the level of success, the impact to our community that she has had, the impact to our youth and disadvantaged that she has had. And over her years and really decades of community service, she has grown to be one of our area's most respected and most professional independent concert promoters. From the beginning, I want you to know, Valerie Davis has had a specific vision and mission that was a personal statement and cause of hers. From the beginning, it was to serve the underprivileged sectors of our community. She worked with the African American community to bring great gospel music artists to our community, but in order, not just for the entertainment, but in order to achieve something. And it was to achieve this. She would set up a show so that these national recording artists would share the stage with local and regional talents, including local kids. It was pretty amazing. And that enabled them to be encouraged in youth participation in the arts, such as music and dance. And at the same time, she singularly served as a bridge between the different races and cultures of our Quad City area in a way that was incredibly effective at a time back in the late 90s and 2000s when there were not a lot of bridges between our peoples. And so she made a huge difference in our community. One method of doing that was the meetings for event planning. Another method of doing that was through fundraising efforts. Another way of doing that was she would assemble mass choirs to be in these gospel shows that she would host. And these mass choirs would bridge cultures, races, ethnicities, religious backgrounds, bring a bunch of different people together for a shared experience and shared success. And it was an amazing thing to witness and to be a part of. A specific focus and goal she had throughout all of that work was to bring in national recording artists to have some exposure to local kids. And through that, they would benefit from the education, experience, and encouragement as possible from a singular vision, just such as that. And as all concert promoters do, there's quite a few times that she's had to go out of pocket to cover concert expenses, spending the grocery money, when the funding and the ticket revenues are short. That's just the lot that we carry in life as concert promoters, and Valerie is no exception for that. And I want to tell you just one show, one day over the years, as an example. One day, we had an all-day show at LeClaire Park on the band shell. 28 different music groups and local and regional choirs across the stage. I know because I ran the stage. But all these people got exposure to a wonderful venue. And when the day was done, most people went home for dinner, but we flipped over to the Capitol Theater where we had the evening show that night. We had 3 national recording artists, also a local mass choir. That was the type of choir I've just described to you. So we had 28 acts in the day show, and we had 4 more acts in the night show. That was one day, one event, 32 artists, and that's not the only time we did something like that. There was a lot of shows like that over the years that we did that benefited a lot of people in the community. A lot of kids around the area got a chance to participate in something like that, and that's a wonderful thing. So I'm telling you all that to tell you this. Through Gospel Songs promotions, now Great Sounds promotions, Valerie Davis has brought so many wonderful concerts to our community in churches, schools, auditoriums, and parks. And separate from that, she's also brought affirming dramatic and musical programming in support of Black History Month events for over a decade. And she has hosted benefit concerts for local families in need, including the first one I did with her was for a local family that had 2 babies that had cancer. You know, wonderful things to get behind and to reach out and to help with. In 2003, we added smooth jazz music to our programming with our first event at the Quad City Botanical Center. I don't know if there's anybody here who was there then, but that show was more than a sellout. People were paying full price to stand and see that show. And it showed us that there was one other area of our community that was hungry to be served. And Valerie was completely the right person to do it because she loved the music, she loved the people, and she loved bringing it all together. So the mission of Great Sound Promotions for 25 years has been to promote music and education and entertainment that offer sound and positive values to our community. Most people only see a part of what Valerie Davis is doing and has done in our community. That's why I wanted to tell you this story tonight, because I wanted to share with you the rest of the love story for Valentine's Day. Because for her love for people and her love for the community, I'm very proud to be able to honor and recognize the contribution that Valerie Davis has made and has singularly given to our community. So I would like to ask you all to offer your warmest applause and heartfelt thanks, and let's show Valerie some real Valentine's love tonight for our leader, Valerie Davis.
Thank you, Tim.